All right, guys. Walks with Cody and Dakota. Day 7?
I think it's day 7, yeah.
Day 7, dude. Feels like we've had more days than this. So today we're walking down to the end of the bench. Gonna do some Wim Hof. I got a slight headache. I've stayed up kind of late. Been emotional. A lot of fun stuff going on.
Yeah, me too.
I don't want to talk about it.
That's all right.
But anyway, we're gonna go down and do some Wim Hof. Wim Hof's good for like anxiety, for stress, for whenever you're feeling headaches. Honestly, a lot of times like it kind of makes me feel better actually, just like getting the blood flowing, getting oxygen in the veins, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be good, dude.
Yeah.
What was I talking about earlier that I was like, oh, that'd be cool to talk about? Remember? I think I remember. It was a tip. It was a tip that I heard about raising kids.
Yeah.
So what I noticed, what I found out with myself, it's so funny because whenever I start to like say something deep, I feel like then that's when all the background noise and there's so much stuff. It's like, hey, let me say this really important thing.
We can walk to the next truck and see if it's a little quieter if you want. If you want to.
Yep. All right. So talk about it in just a second.
We got roofers over here. We got city workers over here. We got another guy up here.
Dude, I'll say that then. I'm so freaking grateful. I was talking about that this morning too with you. I'm so grateful that I am not doing like landscaping and all that other stuff anymore. A lot of times we forget where we came from, what we used to do, what our days used to look like, and we're so focused on the future. And by we, I mean I. So focused on the future, on what's next, where I'm going, and I kind of like get anxiety and get like upset with myself that I'm not there faster. And then I was really thinking about it, like where we came from, man. Like it's so crazy how everything that I wanted 5 years ago, now I have, and it's still like now I'm looking for the next thing. Now it's like what's next, and it's like it's never going to be enough, really. So just recognizing that and just really living the life that you want to live right now is what I've been working on practicing, because I am just so future focused. So anyway, the other thing that I want to talk to you guys about now that we're past the trucks is just something that I heard Andrew Huberman talk about. They did some studies about just how you encourage your kids. And I found that the times that I felt that I received love was only whenever I was performing or whenever I was doing something really great, achieving things. When I got A's and B's or whatever, that's when I got rewarded. That's when I felt like I received love. I felt like I did not receive love whenever I was being bad, whenever I kicked out of school, whenever I did certain things. And so that's interesting. It almost feels like I have to earn it kind of thing. And so something that Huberman talked about in that study was, instead of congratulating people or your kids on achievements, congratulate them on the effort or the work or the thing that they did in order to get the result, not the result itself. And I think that's such a good idea for all of us to do, but especially for kids, to recognize that it's not the result that's really the most important thing, because we can't control the result. If God doesn't want you to have it, it's not going to happen. But what we can control is the effort, is the integrity that we have while we're doing it, the energy, the attitude. I mean, control the things that we actually can control and encourage them for the way that they're showing up whenever the things are happening. And so, yeah, I thought that was a really great suggestion, really good idea. And then also the other part about it is that he talked about was, whenever you're so achievement oriented and whenever you get love from your achievements, what happens is it also puts this like weird expectation thing on you where it feels like you have to achieve. It feels like you cannot not do it. And now it's like an expectation of, oh, you're so smart because of this result. Now the result now kind of becomes scary, because if you don't get the result again, then you're like, okay, well, who am I now without getting the result? As opposed to what you did in order to do it. Now you can just do more of that because it's under your control. But it's almost becomes this weird expectation where it's like a fear of not hitting something, of not doing something. And that's what I'm working through now. And what I was talking to you about actually is just like not hitting the goal, not getting the achievements, not doing it, but doing the work regardless of the outcome. It's a freaking difficult thing to get over. So anyway, hopefully that helps you guys with just encouraging your kids or encouraging your self-talk. So that helps. Wim Hof.
Wim Hofy on this bench right here.
Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
How you feeling, buddy?
Relaxed, chilled out, refreshed, real good.
Yeah, me too. I was just thinking like when I'm coming up with ideas or like topics or just remembering anything, like this morning, because I was like trying to think of stuff to ask you or like talk to you about. Sometimes I just can't think of like anything, you know, like there's so many thoughts that I can't think of like one or anything. It's so weird.
Yeah, so what I've found is usually that's like a pressure. It's usually a pressure thing that I'm putting too much weight on what I think is going to be good or the outcome instead of just like writing, like just putting what I thought. You're kind of judging your thoughts almost. Like, I don't know, dude. I'm like kind of scared to, like, it's just like to where your mind can't even be creative because you're so worried about it not being good enough that you can't even come up with anything.
Yeah, spot on.
That's usually that's usually what happens to me whenever I'm having those thoughts of like, oh, I'm just so attached to what I need it to look like that. Yeah, I can't even just be creative. It's like, bro, doesn't matter. Just come up with ideas and throw them against the freaking board. And like, that's the funniest part, dude. Is like I live a lot of my life that way. It's like I'm the kind of person that people think I do think a lot, and that's actually true. They think that I think a lot about my decisions, which I kind of do, but it's based. I make very quick decisions based on all the information that I had before. And that actually goes into the quote that I shared with you guys. I might as well share it with you guys.
Yeah.
I shared it with the LTD team already. But the quote was, I thought a lot about this, and I don't think I shared this yet on our walks. But basically, like I was thinking about, it's kind of a long story. I was thinking about texting somebody, and the person is like kind of like asking for space and different things, and I was like, well, should I? But it's like, should I text them? Should I not? Kind of getting in my head, and then like, you know, wanting to set a boundary, not wanting to like, you know, come across needy or anything like that. So what I found was I was getting in my head so much about my own desires, needs, wants, and stuff, and it's okay just for me to experience that. But what I decided in that moment, which I kind of already decided before, I just had to remind myself that I already decided it before, which was like I would rather regret making a decision than regret not making a decision. Something like that. Let me just look up the exact quote, because
that sounds pretty close.
I wrote it a little bit more eloquently, but it wasn't like that much better. But basically I made up the quote and then I shared it with the team. So dude, here's the funniest part is like, I don't know if you can see. Oh, don't show that. Show the camera. These are all my quotes, so they can see it. I got freaking quotes for days, dude. Quotes for days, anytime I hear it. So anyway, what I put was, dude, where is that quote?
I do that all the time. I'm like, dude, I know I put this in my notes. Like, where the heck is it?
Oh, here we go. I put in a different quote thing. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I got two things for notes, or for quotes actually. So I have two. That one that I just showed you guys, I actually have another one. Okay, the quote is, I would rather regret making a decision I made than regret not making a decision. And so that's a quote that that's Dakota Bailey. So that's pretty cool. But anyway, I just like thought a lot about that.
Yeah.
Go be creative. And don't worry about the outcome. It's kind of similar to what we talked about on the way down there, which is funny.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Maybe I'm just too focused on how the outcome is going to be. And I'm kind of paralyzing myself in 100%. The moment.
And I think that a lot of people do that. They get so caught up on what the outcome is, which is so funny because like, I'm not usually like that. And then you get into coaching, they're like, think about the end in mind and work backwards. And I'm more like, I just want to go and have fun and like work towards something that I want. So it's like, it is a mix between both. So it is interesting because the other quote that I really like is, you know, the worst spot you could be at is to climb a huge mountain and then realize that it's not even where you wanted to be or something.
It's the wrong mountain or something.
Yeah, exactly. So I see both sides of it.
Yeah.
There's both sides of everything. That's the funniest part. Two sides to all of it. Dude, one time I drove one of these. It was at MLS, which is like men's leadership. I figured out how to do it. It's like a video game, dude. I've never done it before. Then I drive it across a lake with like a river with running water, and I'm just driving across it. It could have took us, but like, dude, I got so good at it. Here's the funnier part. I was doing it, like we worked probably like 17 hours that day, 16 or 17 hours straight. manual
crap.
labor at first. And then I got in that thing about like somewhere around like, I think like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, worked until 4 in the morning. 4 in the morning. Then I slept an hour, woke up, started working again. It was nuts.
At a summit?
At a seminar.
Seminar, okay.
Yeah.
They just put you guys to work at a seminar? Like physical labor?
Yeah, I was making jokes like that actually the whole time. I was like, dude, you know what we need to do? We need to have a seminar where we teach them like stuff and then they just build houses for us. So we just teach them the lessons that they're going through while they're building the houses, and then we'll sell the houses and make profit. They'll pay us to come to the seminar and then we'll build houses and just double dip. But the funniest part is, here's the craziest part, because I didn't think about that. The craziest part is it probably would work because there's lessons and everything. And if you have the right mindset in it, like, dude, it did change me. I mean, it changed my perspective. Just even working. That honestly pushed me past the limits of what I thought was possible. I thought I was a hard worker, and then I did that, and I'm like, holy freaking crap, that's freaking some hard work.
Yeah.
Then that's a long story.
That's crazy, though.
I can't tell you guys exactly what it is, but let me show you this ring. I'm going to tell you a story about this ring, okay? So this ring is actually, it is part of the whole thing, and this is like a memory from it. They told a story about this ring that I really, really like, which is why I wear it. So an eagle is considered an apex predator. It's considered one of the elite predators. And so an eagle fails 9 times out of 10 to get its prey, but it's still considered one of the elite, right? And so what I got from it was, how many times am I so scared of not getting the outcome, of not achieving something, of failing 9 times out of 10, that I don't allow myself to be in a position in order to fail. So that's basically what I learned from, is put myself in a position to fail, and I can still be one of the elite. I can still be one of the best. It honestly makes me almost better because I failed so many more times and I get more practice and I become that much more skilled at it. And so that's basically what the eagle is a reminder of, is take risks worth taking and fail 9 times out of 10. And the one you freaking do win, you're an apex predator. So
Let's go.
yes, sir. Last thoughts, just love your family, love the people. Anything you feel that's good about other people, share it with them. Not very many people share. I've noticed that I share a lot of criticism. I will share criticism because I believe it helps people, but I also believe encouragement and love helps people too. I almost believe now, I used to think criticism helped people more. I think everybody shares criticism. So I think it's time to share the love, share the good qualities in somebody, because I don't think very many people share that actually. I just don't see it happen very often.
No.
So just share the good qualities, because as much as you think that everybody's getting these accolades and the admiration and the good jobs and stuff, they're not. They're really not. I remember when I was dating Jackie, actually, she said she thought that like all these women were reaching out to me and like I had all this attention and stuff. And I'm like, there's actually not. It's just not happening. And so the perception of what you think is happening is not necessarily happening. And so be the person who does give love, who does give admiration for people, because it's not happening. I promise. Tell somebody that you love what you love about them.
All right.
All right. Day 7, Cody and Dakota. Let's go. Peace.
Peace out.